How's it going, everybody? This is Zachimus Prime, aka Zachimus Prime, here with another Transformers third-party review. And today we're going to be reviewing the Transform Element TE01 OP Leader. I mean, it's not Optimus Prime. Clearly, it's not even Optimus Prime. It kind of looks like Optimus Prime. And it makes you have all these interesting, happy memories of Optimus Prime, but this is not Optimus Prime. No. This is OP Leader. He's OP. But, yeah, so it's kind of interesting, right? That Takara's like, oh, by the way, guys, we're going to blow your minds. We're going to release Optimus Prime version 3. Here's some pictures. And then later that same day, Magic Square was like, yeah, hey guys, we're going to release a show accurate Optimus Prime. And here's a prototype. And then like in a couple months they come out with the actual figure itself, and which was a great figure, by the way. And then this company comes out of flipping nowhere and is like, oh yeah, we've got one too. And it's like, wow. And then you compare this with the MP44, and you're like, how much is that MP44 going to be? Because this figure looks pretty freaking dope already. Like, look at this. This is an even cleaner back than the Magic Square Optimus Prime had. And that Magic Square Optimus Prime was notoriously clean. Like, that's amazing. This is an amazing figure. Not only the way it looks, but the way it transforms. Every time it transforms, it's something like, geez, that's freaking genius. But this is a fantastic figure. There are a couple issues I have with it. One of which actually being, let's get a light over here. For whatever the reason, and you can actually see this fairly well, his ear, it's not the same shade of plastic as the rest of his head and the rest of like his hand and his feet or whatnot. Like, why? I may actually, I don't know. I guess this isn't my figure. By the way, this isn't my figure. I'm borrowing this from my friend Matt. You guys all know Matt from, he used to be in charge of Titan One Toys, and now he's in charge of a flock of kids. And he's loaning this to me. If this was my figure, I'd find a way to put the ears from this head on that head. See if that works, maybe. He does have his alternate head. This is actually the original head here. This is the alternate one. And a lot of people didn't like that original head. And in person, it really doesn't look bad. It doesn't look as bad as it did on camera. And actually, I'm looking at it on camera, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know about that. But they both look pretty good in person. I don't know. This one's kind of more angular. Like, I would say that this head is more comic book accurate, and this head is more TV show accurate. I don't know. Like, there's actually things I really like about this original head. But I mean, I kind of like this head too. So I don't know. If I own this figure, which I really should own this figure because I love this figure, I'm probably going to keep him with the original head. I mean, why not? I don't know. But anyhow, so this alternate head is one of the accessories that he comes with. Also, he comes with this ion blaster here. Pretty big. I've been used to that MP10 for all this time. And, oh, I don't have my MP10 out. I probably should compare it directly to the MP10. I don't know. I'll refer to this little Voyager-sized one, which is largely the same design, if I need to. Anyhow, so he has his ion blaster. It has got a light-up function on it that's actually a pretty decently bright orange LED. Batteries included, by the way, so that's kind of cool. And then his other accessory comes with is an axe, an Energon axe, to recreate that one scene of that one episode. It's the only scene that the Energon axe was ever seen in. It's kind of a different design. This design is not as weird as the Magic Square one. It still is kind of weird to my eyes. I really do like the axe that came with MP10. I even like that better than the MP1 axe. So, I don't know. This one's alright, though. And the way this works is you take his hand and you fold it up. Actually, you fold it up exactly like you're going to transform it. Open up this panel here. So the hand just folds back into there, and then you close it back up. And that leaves... There we go. That leaves this little gap right here, which this just clips onto. This will go onto either hand. I just put it on his left hand. Why not? So that goes in there. And he can swing it around. He can swing it around and axe things. Most specifically, he can axe Megatron. And his gun, by the way, has got just a standard Masterpiece style tab on the handle and a slot on his hand, and you just throw it in there, and whoops, his hand does not want to go through that part there. We're going to go around it. Like so. Like so. Like so. Like so. So he can hold his gun, he can hold his axe, he can hold his head. That's all of his accessories. He can be like Zaphod Beeblebrox. But let's get this all taken off, put his hand back out, and get down to articulation. Because that's all of his accessories. Oh wait, no, that's not all of his accessories. He does have one other accessory, but I'll talk about it in vehicle mode, because it's a vehicle mode accessory. Alright, so for articulation, starting at the top, the little antennas can move. That's kind of cool. His head doesn't really look down much, it looks up that much. Got some up and down, up and down. Head will rotate freely on just a single hinge here. His arms will go out all the way for the full tree pose. They'll go all the way around on that ratchet. A little soft ratchet there. I mean, it's hard enough, I guess, but that's what she said. He does have a bicep swivel here. Bicep swivels quite swivelly. And a single joint at his elbow, but it joints quite a bit. That's a pretty good joint, actually. Wrist is on a swivel, rotates all the way around. He's got two hinges on his thumb. This is just a hinge that goes out like that. You'll notice this hinge is kind of set at a diagonal. And there's no way to move that, so you just gotta have to be content with that. So a little hinge there, and a little hinge on the end of his thumb. And then same with his pointy finger, hinge and a hinge. This is very much what you see on the Masterpiece MP36 Megatron, and what you will see on the MP44 Optimus Prime Convoy. So the three fingers there will move as well. And so he can make a fist, but it kind of looks weird. He can open his hand, but it actually doesn't look bad. And he can like point at stuff. Point Demio. And it doesn't look terrible either. You can point at things. He's got a waist joint. His waist only moves 90 degrees in each direction. That's due to his transformation. Has got stuff in here that prevents him going from all the way, prevents him from going all the way around. Because actually, the hinge joint for it, his waist joint is actually not out of his waist. It's actually like up here in his chest. Oh, that reminds me. I forgot to go over that one other accessory. He does have one other accessory, which everybody knows what to expect. It's an Optimus Prime. Let me open this up. This thing is like on here like nobody's business. There we go. If I had a spudger, I could spudge it, but I don't. Oh, come on. Don't thwart me now. Maybe I'll take this little screwdriver that was included with the figure so that you can change out the head. Yeah, there we go. And he's got a matrix in there, and his matrix is all die cast. It's got some gold paintage on it. Let me wiggle this out. Yeah. Ta-da! So there's his matrix. It is all die cast with this little clear plastic part in the middle. Just comes out. It's not like super heavy. It doesn't feel as heavy as the MP10, though it does look like it's basically the same size and shape of it. Interesting. Anyhow, so that is his other thing. He, of all of the Masterpiece style Optimus Prime figures, he's got the best looking matrix chest. Like this one looks basically like it did in the movie. And it's nice because like this isn't like a repurposed bumper or like some other part of the thing. Like this is specifically just to be a matrix bay, and so that's kind of cool. But anyhow, that was his other accessory I forgot to get to. Back to articulation. He's got a skirt armor here. You can push that forward and move his leg forward. This is fairly strong ratchet. Moves back that far. Moves out this far for... That's basically a full Van Damme right there. I'd say it's 100%. This skirt armor moves just a bit, just as much as it needs to. He does have a knee joint here. It's a single knee joint, but again, it's pretty deep knee joint. The only thing that he doesn't have that I really wish that he did have is he does not have an upper thigh rotation. He's got a rotation down here at the knee. I guess, but like that upper thigh rotation is not just about positioning the foot. It's about positioning the knee. You know, you get a figure and you're like, hey, his knee is bending in this direction, you know, and then you rotate this joint and it changes the angle of that knee bend, you know. And that's not the same as changing the angle of the lower leg. So I don't know. I wish that he had that upper thigh rotation. I think that he could get some better looking poses out of him if he did. Going down to his leg, he has an ankle tilt like that and a toe bend like that. And it's kind of cool when you bend his toe, like this upper part of his toe here, like pivots like so. Like watch this. That's cool. So all in all, his articulation is pretty good. It is not as good as Magic Square's articulation. So if you have some like super wild pose that you want to put him in, and when you display him on your shelf, you may want to still think about Magic Square. But I really feel that in a lot of ways this figure is the better figure. And not the least of which is his transformation, which is the perfect segue. Alright, so let's get this guy transformed up. His transformation is definitely more complex than MP10, more complex than MP1, more complex than Magic Square, but it's so satisfying. Let's get into it. First thing you want to do is you want to take his brain and you want to open that up. Move it around, flip his head around like that. You're going to get this panel open. To get that open, there's these tabs. They're inside here and inside here. They are kind of a pain in the butt. This back panel actually is the only part of this transformation that's actually a pain in the butt. Getting this out is obnoxious every time, and getting it into its final position in vehicle mode is a bit of a hassle every time. But other than that, like, this transformation is actually really, really good, really clever, and fairly intuitive. So let's pull on these. Part of it is that these waist areas just don't have a lot of give to them. All right. All right. Get that out. Get that out. There we go. So that opens up, and we're just going to put this all the way up like that. So we're going to put his arms all the way up like that. And actually, I'm going to just continue working on the upper body. Why not? So then what we're going to do is we're going to pull on this red part right here. We're going to yank on that a bit. It's going to come untabbed from the front there. Oh yeah, we want to open his chest too. So we're going to yank on that, and that's going to allow us to yank on this gray part, and that's going to disconnect, and then this whole thing is going to move up like that. And we're going to do the same for the other side. Pull on this red part, pull on the gray part, move everything up. Now stuff is starting to happen. We are also going to take this panel right here. Is actually, this white panel is tabbed into this gray panel. So we're just going to kind of wiggle this front armor. See how it had these two tabs that pegged into those two slots? We're going to pull that out a bit. That's going to allow us to yank on those panels directly and pull them out. This is a key point of this transformation. I mean, technically every point is a key point if you're getting it transformed, but this is a key point. This is also connected like that. So we're going to get that moved out. That's going to allow us to slide these legs down. You'll see that there's this little sliding tab right here. We're going to slide that down. And then what we're going to do is we're going to bend this down like that. We're going to open these up. That'll get all this out of the way, so you can see this little switch right here, this little button, this little slider thing. You have to slide that out, and when you slide that out, you'll see how it disconnects this whole thing to slide down. I'll do that one more time. See that? So this will fold down. This gives all the clearance it needs. We're going to take and we're going to rotate this module directly. Swap out the one grill for the other grill. Do the old grill switcheroo. And then while we're down here doing switcheroos, we're actually going to do a skirt armor switcheroo. Like that. I'll make sure that these little joints are out of the way. Get that switcheroo going. So we want to take this grill and we're going to fold that up. We're going to fold these gray parts down like that and then fold them in. So fold this down and in, and that's that. We're going to take, there's this little tab right here. You'll see this little tab. It's actually a little die-cast tab. It got a stiff spring on it, and it's small. But you gotta hold that and then pull on this arm like this. That'll disconnect that out. We're going to do that for the other side as well. And that's going to allow us to you've got this is folded up on a little panel in here. You're going to rotate that panel out like that. So now what you want to do is you want to take this red part here, you want to slide that back and fold that up against the gray part and just tuck it in back behind his shoulder. Again, we'll do this for the other side. Take this red part, which is going to be facing somewhere like that. You're going to fold this up and make sure that this gray part gets slid forward. That's going to fold up after you rotate this around. Fold that up. Like so. We're making progress, we really are. Next thing, you want to take these arms and rotate them all the way around. Basically so that these screws are facing you. You want to take his hand, curl up his 3 fingers all the way, and then do the thumb, and then put the 1 finger over the thumb. And then when you open this up, it'll fit in that spot just perfect. And then close that up, but don't put that little tab back down. So again, with the other side, open this up, curl up the 3 fingers, curl up the thumb, and then curl up the 4-finger and put it in like that. Alrighty. So now what we're going to do is we're going to start to move this back into position. This is going to come down. We're going to bring his arm up. There's his elbow joint that's right here, but there's a secondary joint for transformation up in here, and that's going to bring that up into that area right there. So put this into position, bring this arm up, start to bring that all in. Nothing's really getting tabbed in quite yet, but we're going to get them ready. We're going to take these white panels here, we're going to fold them around like that. When it was folded up as a skirt armor, it was bent right here. We've unbent that. We're now going to bend at this other joint here, and that's going to bring these all the way around to the back. And we're going to use these to just kind of fold into there. It's going to kind of keep this propped up as well. So just to make it a little easier to work with. So let's get down to his leg transformation, because this is mostly done. Maybe we'll take that and rotate it around, but this is mostly done up here. So what we're going to do down here is we're going to take his leg. There's this whole panel on the front of his thigh. We're gonna bend his knee, pull this panel down. Normally it goes like that. We're gonna make sure that it's down like that. We're gonna push on it right here. That'll bring that down a little bit. That'll allow us to take and rotate this and slide it down all the rest of the way. And we can fold that. Then we can take this panel right here, bring that out. It's on a spring, and it'll rotate around that way. So it's just folded up on this lower leg. We're going to take this panel right here and pop that open. I'm coming up on that 27-minute mark. Hopefully I get this done. So we're going to pop this open. We're going to fold this down and pop that open. We're going to take and grab this and pop that open. This leaves this whole leg open. Then we're going to take this. We're going to grab it by this panel. We're going to bend it this way, like that. That's going to bring it out and around. You'll see that these tabs have got little hooks on them. These hooks are going to come in and click into place right there. Then we're going to take this panel, fold that all the way in. Take this panel, we're going to take this little fuel tank, we're going to push it down like that, rotate it around, and then move it the rest of the way out. And now this is going to fold up. There's a tab here that goes into a slot here. That's going to clip into place. His toe is going to fit down like this and then slide in. This is going to fold down, and then this is going to fold out, and this tab right here is going to fit into that slot right there. And that's a leg done. Same with the other leg. Bend his knee, pull on this little white part here, push that down. That allows us to rotate and slide this all the way down. Fold that there. Pull out this panel here. Come on. Come on. There you go. Extend that leg back out. Pull on this panel. Gosh, he's got this like anime smooth outer leg. It's hard to get a grip on it. Pull that out, push this down, pop that, pop this. Click. Come around on that little double hinge. Go back into place like that. Fold this in like that. Fold this around like, whoop, this fuel tank comes around and around. Fold that down. Fold that down. Fold that down. And it goes. Alrighty, now we're going to take these legs and we're going to fold them like this. We are in the end game now. By the way, guys, you got to watch that movie. It's great. I'm not going to say anything more, but it's a great movie. You got to watch it. We're going to pull these with those smokestacks pulled out. We're going to take and we're going to start to do this part here. You're going to kind of fold these out like that, and then there's a panel here that will unfold, and then there's a panel here that will unfold. So we're going to take these and put them, they don't actually clip into these tabs here, but they kind of, this is going to come down. So now what we're going to do, kind of spread these out a bit, maneuver his head into, because there's these little tabs that fit in on this area here. You want to get his head past those tabs. You mostly do that by keeping his head straight, but it's a tricky maneuvering. All right. So now what you got to do, and I've told people that this is actually the most tricky part of this whole operation. You got to get these to come past the smokestacks. So I've got these like this, right? These panels are slightly folded in. They're going to come take the tips past those smokestacks, and then you have to bring them down and tuck them in underneath these stacks like that. And then that's going to allow you to bring these parts in together. There's a screw hole here that's going to fit onto this tab. Right, now we're making progress. These are going to come in. You're going to kind of massage his arms into their proper position. And then you just want to leave these tabs out for now. Then you want to take this panel. You'll see that there's this L-shaped double joint in here. Ooh, I've got this held way far out. This L-shaped double joint in here. You're going to bring this all the way down like that. And the tricky part with this operation is you got to swing these up, but not put these in. If you interfere with these little tabs too much, you're going to make things a bit harder. So it's just tricky. It's not complex. It's just a little tricky. So you're going to swing these around on this double joint right here. And they're going to come over the skirt armor and then rotate right here and just go into place like that. Alrighty. So again, here we're going to rotate over this skirt armor here. Mind this tab. Oh, I'm messing things up worse. First leg went so good. Alright, then just gotta kind of get everything lined up. There's a tab here that you'll need to get out of the way until it gets into the proper position. Then you gotta put it in the way. There's tabs on these red panels here. There's this tab right here that's gonna go into a tab in the wheel well. Locate. And that tab goes in on both sides. And then back here, you're going to get this panel to come in. And you'll see that there's a little bit of a tab right. Yeah, it's super hard to see. Right here on the tip of that. That kind of like needs to tuck into this stupid little triangular part here. Like so. And that goes into place. We'll do that for both sides. And then these kind of get massaged into place. You want to take his windshield wipers. You want to pull them, be gentle because I think they're probably pretty fragile. Pull them up onto the windows where they are supposed to go. Oh, I never got these tabbed together properly. And then these, which got pulled out, they're going to rotate like this so that they're flush. This kind of just flops down like that. And there it is in its vehicle mode. And not only is it the most, like the cleanest looking robot mode Optimus Prime I think I've ever seen. This is the cleanest looking truck mode Optimus Prime I think I've ever seen. Like, this is a really, 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 really well done figure. Like, I am just astounded by it all the way across the board. The transformation is really cool. The alt mode looks really great. The robot mode looks really great. I mean, look, even the underside looks really good. Like the only beef I have with this is that he doesn't have the little silver stripe down here. But again, if this was my figure and I was feeling ambitious, like a silver Sharpie would take care of that. You know? Like, there's ways to take care of that, or maybe at some point they'll come out with a version that's got a stripe. I don't know. But that being said, this figure is based largely off of the cartoon model, which didn't have that stripe. That I can recall. I don't think he was actually animated in the show with that stripe. And so, like, it's not even technically supposed to be there. So, just really great looking. He does have rubber tires. These are more plastic feeling kind of rubber tires. So maybe they're not going to degrade in like 2 years. Fingers crossed. I kind of wish that the proportion of rubber to rim was a little more on the rubber side. But again, I'm like nitpicking here. Like, there's like my only beefs with this guy are like the tiniest, like stupidest little complaints. You know, like I am in love with this figure. I might just keep it. You know, instead of giving it back to Matt, I might just keep it forever. I just may be like, oh yeah, I need it for scientific reasons. Yeah. Scientific reasons being, how long can I keep his figure and still be friends with him? That's my experiment. But this is just, it's a fantastic figure. He does have that one more accessory I mentioned, which is this little trailer hitch accessory. And this is one of the things that I like about this figure is that so the Magic Squared one, it looks great, but like the whole like back end of it was like super bloated and like thick, and like you could just like balance the trailer on it, but it didn't actually fit. This one, it fits. It legitimately fits. So you take that, you put that on there, and then the little tabs on it are made to work with the trailer. And they just fit in there just like it does on MP10. And like, look at that. I think that looks cool. I think that looks really cool. So this is actually one of the things that kind of like I mean, there's now Optimus Primes that I much prefer to the MP10. I've got that Generation Toy IDW style Optimus Prime that I freaking love. That works with the trailer, and I've got I've got to buy me one of these that I would freaking love, and it works with the trailer. But it's like I can't sell my MP10 because then I have to get rid of the trailer. And both of those figures, this one and the Generation Toy one, look so good with the trailer. I'd feel bad letting go of that trailer at any point. But it's just so good looking, man. But yeah, so there's the Transform Element TE01 Op Leader. I love this figure. I recommend it. I recommend it to everybody. If you've already got a Magic Square, you might have a hard time convincing yourself to get one of these, because they are really, really similar figures in a lot of ways. But like, I just love this figure so much that I'd be hard pressed not to just recommend it to everybody. You should get this figure. It's great. I know that Matt doesn't sell them anymore. I think you can get them from Agabus right now. Has got them. But yeah, just, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. I love it. So nice. Anyhow, thanks everybody for watching. I know this is a bit of a longer review. Part of it's because that transformation was just something else, right? I like it. It's funny. The Fans Toys figures, I tell people all the time, they look great in alt mode, they look great in robot mode, but they're just like a freaking nightmare to transform. This figure is complex too, but like, I enjoy the transformation. And I've been trying to identify what it is about the transformation that I love. I'm not sure. But I do love this transformation, whereas a lot of those Fans Toys figures, I legitimately despise their transformations because they're just so obnoxious. And I know it's not just the baseline complexity of it, because this is a complex figure, you know? My brother was saying they should take this and put some like hydraulic hose or pneumatic hose detail in it. And just, this is the only thing that even remotely qualifies as kibble on this entire alt mode. It's astounding. I love it. I love it. It's great. Anyhow, thanks everybody for watching. You guys are fantastic. Be good to each other, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.